All right, let me start off by thanking some people that I think we need to thank here in terms of the effort that it took to get us into the stadium today and to get people here and here safely. I know it didn't stop snowing hard around here, at least until about 4 a.m. this morning, so I thought it was an admirable effort by everyone involved to get this game ready to be played in the streets, sidewalks, the roads, even getting here. Cleared off. So inside the Bills organization, Andy Major, Josh Zerlikowski, Aaron Ramella, and their respective staffs. I'd like to thank Governor Hochul. It's always hard to make decisions, and I think the way that she put the safety of the public first above the game, I think that just shows a lot about who she is and her care for people. All those who helped in the snow removal around this facility, around the stadium, and like I mentioned, the roads as well. I looked out my window a few times yesterday, and it was hard to see. So everyone that was out there working hard on the public's behalf to make it safe to get to the game today, and then Bills Mafia showed up. I know that there wasn't always clean seats to sit on, but it didn't seem like it mattered to them. So I applaud Bills Mafia for showing up the way that they did in the fashion that they did. So always great to get a win, hard to win in the NFL, in particular in the playoffs. Thought our guys stepped up. We had some guys getting banged up during the game. We answered, we countered when we needed to counter, and good to get a win. So with that, I'll turn it over to you with your questions.
I know you've made it a point to next man up all season long when you guys have gone down. But what does Terrell Bernard mean to your defense, and what's the kind of status of that injury?
Yeah, and as far as the injuries go, I don't know the status. I have not had a chance to stop in with Nate there and check up on the latest, if you will. So, but what TB means, I mean, I think it speaks for itself. In the year that he's had as a young player stepping in with basically no experience in leading our defense, not only being productive, but also the leadership aspect of the job, that middle linebacker position does a lot for our defense.
Talking about Klein coming off the couch and doing
Yeah, sorry. It's like a guy going, the Griswolds. He's going on vacation, right? And we stopped him, I think just short of Wally World, and he came back and he put the uniform on and to go out there and play. I think that's pretty special right there. So I applaud AJ for that, and pretty remarkable.
Sean, over the years,
I should applaud his family as well for letting him come back too. So.
Over the years, you've always said Josh needs to be smart when he runs, and he needs to avoid taking hits, and then he does that. So what do you say to him after a play like that?
Yeah, it's Josh. I mean, I think it was even Joe on the headset going, get down, and then he goes and scores, and he's like, I mean, go score, right? So, no, that's Josh doing some of what Josh is known for, and so it's everything in moderation.
Sean, can you talk about Khalil Shakir and how he's evolved? I mean, the play, the touchdown,
Yep.
but I mean, he's become a really reliable option.
Oh, he has. He's just, again, I was watching a little bit of television last night, watching another playoff game with the young receiver the Rams have, and how they said he's not a great tester or this and that. He's a football player, and I think that's, if you measure Khalil by playing the game of football, I think he's a pretty special player and person for that matter, and I think one feeds the other. So I think more people need to start measuring some of those things as opposed to some of the measurables and find true football players.
Sean, with AJ, you mentioned the fact that he had the family vacation plan, but then he comes in, you get him back, and then he runs the scout team all week.
Yeah.
Then he has to come in and finish the game for you guys. I mean, that is not a natural week for a player. I mean, what can you say about that?
Yeah, only AJ. I mean, his career getting drafted where he was drafted in terms of the round he was drafted in, he's always believed in himself. He sat somewhat behind Luke for a long time in Carolina, then blazed his own trail in New Orleans there for a little bit as well, and it was fun to watch him from a distance at that point, and then to have the opportunity to get him up here to Buffalo over the last couple of seasons at times, and then to, to basically say goodbye to him a few weeks ago, maybe a month it was. My timeline may not be accurate on that, but then to call him and say, hey, no, that retirement thing he was talking about, or you were talking about, let's put that off a little bit here. So, hey, everything happens for a reason. God works in mysterious ways, and very fortunate that he came back.
Hey, Sean, I know you had to be two-dimensional in this game. James Cook had been a little bit struggling since the Dallas game for sure. To get him back on track today, how important was that to what you did?
Yeah, it's always important that you can stay two-dimensional. I thought James ran with purpose tonight. You could tell by the tilt of his pads he was ready to go. So, and we need more of that.
Sean, for Kyer to have the year he's had, to come in and have kind of trouble starting off and then have that interception, what does that say about Kyer and what can you do to build on that?
Yeah, again, another player that's gone through a journey this season, like we have as a team, and the mental skill it takes to stay confident and believing in oneself, and then to go out there and execute. And this is not executing in a preseason game and working oneself back. This is executing at a level of playoff football, and that's even faster normally than a regular season game. So I thought he did a real good job, and that was a big play for us.
Hey, Sean, how close was it for both Tyrell and Russell to be?
Probably not fair for me to say. I don't really know for sure days, week, day. I don't think of week. I don't know, but it just wasn't close enough. It was probably closer, maybe for Tyrell, but I don't know that for sure.
How would you describe your defense health-wise? I know that there's still some unknowns because you don't know exactly what happened to your guys, but I think at least in general, with all the different missing pieces and how you finish the game, what are your thoughts on how you prepare this week into the game against the Chiefs?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a heck of an opponent. We'll have to regroup tomorrow as a staff, and I know some of our staff has already been working on the Chiefs, and that's kind of what you do is as a position coach, you're able to look ahead a little bit. We'll just have to sit down with Nate tomorrow and just try and see who's healthy and when they'll be healthy, if they're not healthy, and then see what jersey numbers we have and kind of go from there, I think. So.
What has to happen for AJ to go from where he did to having the green dot, specifically because there are some things that have to be done with the helmet, right? I mean, are there some things that, are things being done on the fly?
Are you talking during the game?
Yeah.
Yes. The equipment staff did a great job, Jeff Mazurk and his staff, and our communications people, Dan Evans and his staff as well. That's a hard thing to get done as quickly as they did, and they did a great job.
Sean, the word resilience has been used a lot right down the stretch of the push for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And tonight, you've got guys going down on defense, that game's getting close,
Yeah.
and the offense goes on that drive and Khalil scores. I guess how much of whatever identity you formed or what you went through during that end-of-season push played into this game tonight?
Yeah, I think that fabric, you kind of you draw from that, right? When you're building that fabric during the season through different challenges, adversity, the journey, that's what you lean on in situations like we had tonight, and we'll have to do it going forward, quite honestly. So, because it doesn't look like we're getting any healthier.
Sean, for better or worse, you're a team that's used to having games moved to different days, to different
Yeah.
cities. How did you lean on that past experience this time around?
Yeah, I was glad that we didn't have to move locations. I was started to get a little bit worried about that. You play all season long to earn a home playoff game, and not only for our sake, but for our fans' sake. And so, you want to reward Bills Mafia for doing what they do all season long, right, in our community around here. And no, the experience of having games moved and some of the contingency plans, it definitely came into play in that experience in terms of, when you look at it a little bit, we weren't even able to meet yesterday. We met on Zoom. So Saturday, after the walkthrough, within 30 minutes maybe, the word came out that there was, that the game was going to get moved. So we just tried to get everybody together from a leadership standpoint. There's about 8 of us. And then we put a plan in place so that the players could feel as comfortable as possible. And then that was Saturday, so that became our Friday. And then the next day became our Saturday. The only challenge was we weren't able to, because of the travel ban, we weren't able to meet. So we met over Zoom. And we even had a 5-minute team stretch over Zoom. I know it sounds funny, but we just wanted to get the players, felt like we needed to get the players moving, and Coach Ciano and his staff did a great job of leading a stretch from home. So if anyone's looking for an individual workout program, we recorded it so you guys can use it if you need it. And then last night, again, holding out hope that we could get everybody back in for those nightly meetings to get into a little bit of routine, and just with the conditions the way they were, didn't think it was right, and then the ban was still in place there. So we Zoomed again. We had a normal course of meetings with our chapel service, our mass on Zoom, and then we did team meeting, O&D, and special teams all over Zoom. And then the guys didn't even stay at the hotel last night. They stayed at home for the obvious reason of the conditions the way they were. So it's...
Speaking of home playoff games, how nice is it that for once Chiefs have to come here, you get to host them
Yeah.
at Highmark Stadium next
Y-
week instead of going out there?
Yeah, it's nice that we don't have to travel. I think that's big, and then to play in front of our fans again. And we have a lot of respect for Andy Reid and their program, and we've had our battles over the years, and this will be another one, I'm sure. And you watch what they did the other night. They were dominant. So we've got to get our rest and try and get a little bit healthier if we can, and get ourselves ready to go again.
Sean, there's been a bit of turbulence in the kicking game down the stretch of the season. Where's your confidence level in that unit as a whole moving forward?
Yeah, no, it's high. When you look at those guys, I know that they've had some moments here, and I know that those guys they've made a lot of kicks over the years, T-Bass in this case, and Sam. So, fully confident in those two, and Reed as well.
We need to bring in another punter this week?
We'll see. Yeah, Brandon and I spoke about that. We need to get a better feel for where Sam is, and then go from there.
Sean, we've heard a lot over the last couple of weeks that this team was kind of playing like they were already in the playoffs in order to get there. But do you feel like it benefited you guys at all to know that your mindset was already in that place instead of feeling like maybe we have to ramp it up a little bit now?
Yes, definitely so. I feel like that resilient nature that I was asked about earlier, it's kind of what we do, right? Even with the snow situation over the last, I don't know, call it 36, 48 hours, right? So for these guys staying at home and Zooming, it's like, okay, just tell me what's next, right? So I think that just speaks to the types of players and people we have.
Sean, what do you do during the Zoom stretch? You just watch?
No, I got up and I stretched with them. I did. I did. If I'm going to ask them to do it, I'm going to do it with them. It wasn't pretty on my part, I can tell you. But I was up there. I thought about wearing my workout gear on top of that, but I didn't want to, make light of the situation. So just to get them to laugh and everything. But no, it was interesting. I'll just say that, interesting. Some guys didn't want to have their cameras on, so we made them turn their cameras on so we could see them actually moving. It's real easy. They're human just like we are, right? And real easy to sit at home, watch the snow, sit on the couch, eat food, eat more food, and next thing you know, you got to roll, the ball's out here and it's teed up and it's ready. You got to ready to play a football game. So I thought they did a great job.
What's your workout gear?
My workout gear? Yeah, I was gonna like really take it to the extreme to get these guys to laugh and have some fun with it. Hey, I think that's part of it too, is just try and make it fun, kind of a bonding experience for us. Whoever thought, and I told the guys this, I don't think I've ever thought if when I signed up to be a head coach that I'd be leading or in part of a team stretch over Zoom the night before a game, or the day before a game. So Gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Was
Okay.
music,
I'm sorry?
was there music?
We didn't do music. We should have, though. Maybe next time. Maybe this week. Thanks, guys.